This is a great question from Quora. Would you amend an application from the principal to the supplemental register if the trademark was found merely descriptive? My name is Andrei Answers. I'm the founder of Trademark Factory, and here's my answer to this question. Well, first of all, just to be clear, principal, supplemental register, this relates to US trademarks. No other country that I know of has two registers. No other country that I know of has a supplemental register where you can protect merely descriptive trademarks. And I think it's a great idea that US came up with to allow brand owners whose trademarks are found to be merely descriptive to have some protection for their brands. So to answer your question, and by the way, we have a more detailed video that talks about the benefits of supplemental register and drawbacks. So if you want to go through those, make sure you find this video on our channel and watch it, and we'll put that in the card as well. But to answer your question whether it's a good idea to amend an application from principal to the supplemental, it really depends. A trademark registered on a supplemental register is certainly much better than not having any trademark registered at all. So from that perspective, if amending your application from principal to supplemental is the only way for you to register your mark, sure, by all means, go ahead and amend. If you see other avenues for convincing the trademark examiner that your application, your trademark is really not merely descriptive, it might be worth fighting for, because a trademark on a principal register is considered a stronger trademark. It gives you more rights, it gives you more presumptions, it will save you from having to prove certain things in case there's a dispute about your brand. So if you see there's a clear path for you proving to the examining attorney that the mark is not descriptive, or maybe it has acquired distinctiveness, which is also a way to overcome that objection, then maybe you want to go ahead and try to convince the examiner. But in the end of the day, unfortunately, the determination of whether the mark is merely descriptive, which are not registerable on the principal register, or it's suggestive, which are registerable on the principal register, that determination is very, very subjective. It really boils down to the opinion of the examiner, and sometimes their opinion may not necessarily be the right one, but when they come up with that idea, it's often an arduous task to make them change their mind, because they just have their mind made up already. And usually, usually you already know whether there's a risk of your trademark being found merely descriptive. And for example, when you go with Trademark Factory, the first thing we do is we're going to do a comprehensive trademark search, and one of the things we're going to look at are formal reasons why your trademark may be refused. And typically we would identify issues such as descriptiveness. And if you do this with your eyes wide open, and then you finally get that objection, well, then you accept it and say, sure, let's move it to the supplemental register. And this way, at least we know that nobody else can trademark that brand, right? We may not have the strongest monopoly out there. It's still a trademark that no one else can have because we were there first on the supplemental register. So there's value in it. And if it's totally out of the blue and you think that examiner's objections make no sense, that they're not justified, you argue. And if you get another office action where they maintain their refusal, well, at that point you can say, okay, we tried, let's move it to the supplemental register. The only instance I think I would say don't agree is if you have a really big budget to get that trademark registered on a principal register, because after your trademark gets denied, because here's the thing, if you keep pushing that no, it's not descriptive, get it registered on a principal register, eventually you'll get a final refusal, and you can ask for reconsideration, and if that's refused, then you're done. So in the end of the day, you're not going to get anything. So it's not that you keep arguing, and then when you've exhausted your options for arguments, then they'll say, okay, you didn't get it on a principal, you're going to get it on a supplemental. If you keep arguing the principal, they're just going to refuse the whole thing altogether. And then your only option would be to appeal that decision, which is also going to cost you a lot of money, a lot more money than just filing a trademark and getting it argued by an attorney with USPTO through the USPTO system. So the only time I would say just go as far as you can is if you're 100% sure that the examining attorney made a mistake, and two, if you've got a big budget to spend on proving your case. In all other cases, I would say maybe try it once, and if that doesn't work, then just agree and amend it to supplemental register. Now, I hope this answers your question. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, great. Like this video. If you have more questions for me about brands, about trademarks, about entrepreneurship, post your comment below. I'll be happy to answer your question in a video just like this one. And if you've got a brand that you want to protect, go to trademarkfactory.com, book your call with our strategy advisor, and we'll take it from there. And until then, I will see you in the next video.